We're the station that leads you to the beer stand at Val Verde Amphitheater whenever that classic rock band tries to play a new song from their new album.
Yeah, this is a new one from our new album, and it's called Denim Beauty. 1, 2.
Stick to the old stuff, guys.
Oh shit, where's everyone going? Come back.
Val Verde rocks with 108.9 The Hawk. Oh. Jeff, when you get down to it, well, first off, hello, 108.9 The Hawk, and that is Cheap Trick and Dream Police on 108.9 The Hawk, the Jeff and Wisp Show. Jeff, my question, though, who would you rather come to your front door? The Val Verde Police or the Dream Police?
I guess question with a question. Is Bunny Carlos going to be there? Or is he not a part of this Dream Police?
He's not a part of this Dream Police.
Then I'm going Val Verde Police Department.
You're going Val Verde. You were all at ACAB or Abacab. Is it Abacab, Scotty, or producer?
I've got my Abacab neck tattoo, and then someone informed me that it was too many letters.
Too many letters.
And I said, God damn it, well, I love Genesis anyways, so I'm just going to keep it.
It works out.
And then I started noticing most of the Val Verde Police Department were actually wearing bootleg Genesis shirts.
Are you
instead of their uniforms lately?
Really?
So I was like, well, Abacab's working, and ACAB, Abacab, as long as we're cabbing to Genesis, and I say, let's go for it, Val Verde Police.
That's what Jeff says. He says, let's go for it, Val Verde Police.
Hey, if you need a pull quote for the police, and I ain't talking the band, then we say, let's go for it, police.
Let me just ask you, you're getting pulled over. They've got their taser, ready to go, pointed at your throat, and they're dressed up.
Because that is also just standard here. Most cops really are bees, if you know what I mean. But in Val Verde, they're even worse. They just come out, they're always tasing left and right. They are
ready. They will tase you for no reason whatsoever.
So they're coming up to me. I've been speeding.
And they've got their taser out, and they're dressed up in a full Lamb Lies Down on Broadway Genesis 1975 record. That was that 75 or 74, Scotty? Jeff?
He's just shaking his head no.
74? He's shaking his head no, but he never fucking tells me anything. Throw the delay.
What happens is they show up, and then they start laughing because I'm wearing the Boston Bruins B because I'm dressed as Bill Buford when Bill Buford's taking over for a little bit. And then we have a good laugh, and they still tase me because they are, of course, Valverdean police, and they are just jonesing to use that. They just
they are jonesing to use that. Hey, I do have to tell you that today we are in the 7 o'clock hour, 7:04 right here on 108.9 The Hawk on the Jeff and Wisp Show. And, of course, we've got so much coming on, so many moving pieces. But I got to tell you, Jeff, today's Jeff and Wisp Show is brought to you by Ass Dog, the new adult cartoon on Channel 8++. And holy shit, I'm hearing great things about this show. You know McGruff the Crime Dog, Jeff?
Of course I do.
You know Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Of course I do. They both take bites out of crime.
They both take bites out of crime, and so does Ass Dog, a hardened cop who's a real loose wire after a head injury he got while licking his own privates. You never know what he's going to do. And now here, I do have a clip. I'm going to play it right now for you, Jeff. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for Ass Dog?
Oh, you know I'm excited.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. I was just asking about my parking ticket. Well, consider your ass parked permanently.
Damn, I think I'll be watching Ass Dog.
Wow. Surprisingly problematic.
Action, this guy's only asking about his parking ticket.
That's all he was doing. This Ass Dog's worse than the Val Verde Police.
I think Ass Dog may be the worst member of the Val Verde Police.
My God. But I mean, that's also, that's Channel 8++. What are you going to do?
Maybe that's why you pay for streaming.
That's their motto is wildly problematic. All they're showing is canon films from the 80s.
Oh
my God! If there's a new Steven Seagal movie, it's getting first run on that right after Ass Dog.
Do you want to hear it again? Do you want to hear it again to get you pumped up for Ass Dog? Okay, here we go.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. I was just asking about my parking ticket. Well, consider your ass parked permanently.
That's Ass Dog. Wildly problematic. And, of course, on tonight at Channel 8++, the streaming Channel 8 here in Val Verde. So get ready for that. Jeff, another big thing to get ready for. Like I said, so many moving parts here on the Jeff and Wisp Show this morning. We are going to learn TikTok. We're going to learn how to do it. We are going to learn how to be the best goddamn influencers in Val Verde radio. And we've got Mackenzie coming up very, very quickly here. Very shortly, I should have said quickly, because, I mean, now we've got her for the whole hour, Scotty. And so, whole hour, Scotty. Whole hour, Scotty.
I can't wait to find out how to influence. Finally.
I've been waiting. I'm 77 years old, Jeff. I've been waiting 77 goddamn years to learn how to influence, and we're going to find out very
I thought we were
soon.
influencing all this time. I thought there's nothing more influential than terrestrial radio, and I say it all the time.
Truly.
Nothing.
It all comes from terrestrial radio.
You watch any music doc, and they're saying you got to remember what it was like at the time, and they're usually talking about terrestrial radio.
They're talking.
It is setting the pace of rock and roll, and then culture right after that.
Well, you got to remember,
things have changed.
I love those rock docs where it's something extremely problematic, and they're like, "Well, you got to remember what the times were like."
Oh, you got to remember. And I'm like, I think I do remember, actually.
Edgewater Inn in Seattle. You gotta remember what the times were like.
You gotta.
Oh, my God. But, hey, if you like rock and roll, my friends, we got one hell of a show this Saturday. We've got Def Leppard. We've got the Bret Michaels Band. And we've got Tony Diarrhea and the Well-Fed Babies, Verde Dome. And we've got your tickets courtesy of Tickets. So whenever you hear this sounder,
Do you want to get tickets? Let's get tickets.
when you hear that sounder, for real, not this time. It's not this time. Be caller 400, Scotty. Jesus Christ. We're going to be here all fucking day.
And we got a reminder from Scotty, too. You have to let the sounder, once again, we say this all the time, play out the entire time.
Play it out. It's got a bed, though. This is a bed, so we're under.
And we have a specific marked point that we count the 400 after that point, but then the bed continues.
Oh, shit.
So
we're going to be giving these tickets away.
A lot of moving parts this morning.
7 p.m. tonight, but get ready. When you hear that sounder, could happen at any time. Could happen at any time. And you're getting tickets to see Def Leppard, Bret Michaels Band, Tony Diarrhea, and the Well-Fed Babies. Verde Dome this Saturday night, baby. God almighty. That's radio, kids.
That's how you do
You're going to be on a documentary one day, and you're just like, I mean, that was the way it was at the time.
You got to remember what it was like at the times.
You got to remember what it was like at the time.
You got to remember. That's our new motto, 108.9 The Hawk. You got to remember what it was like at the time.
New motto. I do have one last thing I got to talk about real quick, Jeff.
Real quick. Make it quick.
Real quick. Sultans of Swing, Val Verde Chapter Spring Mixer. To all my members of the Sultans of Swing. Toot-toot-toot-loo-loo to you. We had it last night. Of course, that was on Lil Verde Island, right in the middle of Verde River. Now, I can't tell you that much, Jeff, but I can say we had a hell of a time. Kayaking. Bonfires, blood sacrifice to a giant statue of Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, as he is our Lord and Commander. Al Roker. I mean, I don't want to tell you how many people are in Sultans of Swings.
I was going to say, this is you not telling us too much.
I'm not telling you too much, but I will say that Al Roker was the one that cut his hand and he dripped in some blood this time. Man, we had a hell of a time. Trivia
real
games,
Bohemian Grove situation down there.
Really, truly.
I mean, truly. Val Verde's Bohemian Grove is the Sultans of Swing.
Yep, we had a lot of talking about plans, where we shut the government down here and there, which state we're gonna make suffer, and stuff like that. And then
I
the party.
actually saw some of that on your Truth Social account last night.
Oh,
I think you might have had a little bit too much of the cognac. Maybe you told us more than you were supposed to tell us.
You know what? Let's hold that. Let's go ahead and bring in our guest, because I want to ask about social media and the ones I should be on, because I'm on Truth Social all day long. Mackenzie, feminist influencer. Welcome to the Rock and Roll RV.
Hi, how are you guys?
I mean, better
fantastic now that
Mackenzie.
you're here.
Yep.
Wow, thank you. I mean, and truly, no pressure to be respectful.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
Truly.
Well, you were.
I put the gloves on, and I guess the gloves are off now.
Take the gloves off.
That's the sound of my glove coming off. So, Mackenzie, you are a feminist influencer. Why?
Well, I found myself asking the same question in the last several months. Who can say why? But it's part of why I wanted to join you here today. I'm a big fan of both of you. I mean, I'll never.
Who first? Who first?
Age before beauty.
Oh my God.
I love.
So I'm a
Mackenzie
beautiful
McKenzie.
man, and you are an old person, Wisp. This makes sense.
And
Okay.
I mean, Wisp, I will never forget one of the first radio broadcasts I was ever forced to listen to was the morning that you wept when you failed to hit the post.
You heard that?
Wow.
I did. 96.
Oh my God. 96. Stairway to Heaven, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's a post that's literally 2 minutes out. And I'm just talking about everything that's happening here in Val Verde. I did a little bit of community calendar, and then and as I'm still talking, I'm getting real damn close to 108.9 The Hawk. There's a lady. And I was just like, God!
They teach that in broadcasting school now.
They do. At Val Verde Broadcasting School, you got to do the stairway. You got to walk it up.
I took the Zoom class.
You took the Zoom class.
I did when it went to Zoom. And at the time, I didn't understand. And but it is one of my earliest memories.
Did you know who Led Zeppelin was when you took the class?
Oh, see, I did, but my father was an aspiring broadcaster, and so
oh my God!
We would listen to your broadcast together, actually.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Heartwarming.
That will say hello to your dad from me.
Well, I can't.
What is he not answering his phone? Scotty, can we get his
get
phone
him on
number
the
and
horn,
maybe pipe him
I'm
in?
sorry. No,
and
it's
just
actually
loop him on in here?
He was an aspiring broadcaster himself, but he passed away around the time I became a feminist publicly.
Oh, was that the reason he died?
Was there a connection there?
Is there a connection between you coming into feminism and your father just like, well, time to go to hell?
If you asked me 8 years ago, I would have answered very differently. But now, now I would say yes. It is absolutely my belief in myself that killed my father. And I've tried to turn myself in multiple times, but there's not enough proof.
Not enough proof.
But as the
Val Verde police for you. They don't really want proof as much.
That's on the police cards. It says not enough proof.
Yeah.
No protect and serve. Not enough proof.
What I will say is when I turned myself into the sheriff, he said, you cannot be convicted for being a feminist at this time, but come back next year. And
they're like you to check back in at the Val Verde police.
Yes.
They're like, can you help us out and just come back? Like, take a number.
I tell you what,
shocking how easy they are to get on the horn.
It
is
easy.
crazy.
So easy.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know what? I'm realizing. I think I did a boo-boo. They're like, we'll come get you. Tasers are ready.
Tasers are ready. Now, Mayor Lee Roth has been trying to change the Val Verde civic code to make feminism, just one of those things that we just jail and incarcerate people for no reason whatsoever. And Mayor Lee Roth, if you're listening right now, and I know you listen to the Jeff and Wisp show, we're ready for it. I think 2025 is the year. All right.
I mean, God willing. God willing.
Hey, buddy. Hey, God. What do you think?
And he would say,
sure
thing, Wisp.
I wish. I mean, he's acting like your dad right now and saying nothing.
Nothing at all.
Oh, my God. Now, you are an influencer as well. So let's separate the feminism from the influencerism. And what is that like? How is that life? Mackenzie.
Thank you so much for asking. The algorithm changes every single day.
Algorithm. Get it?
God. That was one of my favorite Friday skits. Is when they had Al Gore on as the Al Gore rhythm. That was
rhythm. And he's like, rhythm of the night's playing. Sorry, we go on tangents a lot. You listen to the show.
I'm just a fan. I'm a fan. No, this was good. It would sometimes determine if I received corporal punishment as a child of, how long the banter lasted, who hit the post, who came back in.
Really?
Bets and the loser.
Wow. Must have been a really tough day with Wisp missing the post then for you.
I'm just like, and it's like,
we
were just another band out of, oh God.
And I can feel it. I can feel it in my body when you did that.
Oh my God! Wow. You know what I can feel in my body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the rhythm of the night. The night. Oh yeah.
All right, tangents.
Yeah.
Influences.
Really miss him.
What is it like, Mackenzie?
Well, being an influencer is you got to go with the algorithm. So when I started, when I first sort of popped off, it was with a feminist show I was running at the time.
Okay, what was the name of that show?
It was called "Come On, Bitch."
What was Freddy Cougar hosting?
My goodness. That is
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
Freddie
gotcha.
Cougar with
I-
Chelsea Handler.
Feminist icon.
Yeah. Feminist icon.
Freddy
Freddie
Cougar is a feminist
Cougar.
icon.
Yes, I think so.
Knew it.
I think so.
Knew it.
But no, I started in the mid 2010s with "Come On, Bitch,"
Come on, bitch.
which was just sort of motivating young women to come on, be
Bitch?
more bitch.
Yes.
Wash your face, get your shit together, and sort of do what your dad told you to do. And at the time,
Those are the three tenets of "Come On, Bitch."
wash your face,
Wash
get
your
your
face,
shit together,
Get your shit together.
and do what your dad told you to do.
Then
That
Jordan
was-
Peterson was like, I could add maybe like 9 more
You
to
could
those.
add a couple of steps,
Yeah.
and
Make your bed, I guess, or some bullshit.
I would never overstep. I do have an intolerance to meat that has made it really difficult for me to sort of get fully on board. But I realize that is a feminine weakness on my part. It's certainly not a criticism
Truly.
of the Don. Okay.
No.
No, but
Everyone bow down to Jordan. Jordan, speaking of social media and influencer, Jordan Peterson would not stop responding to my Truth Social post last night. Mackenzie, are you on Truth Social?
I've got a lurker account. Okay?
Really?
I'm
You got to dive in.
slowly-
You got to dive in, Mackenzie.
Look, these
The
things
water's
need to
fine.
be done slowly. I'm still trying to get the bitches who I got to come on to move over to Truth Social. It's a slow transition.
They love that language on Truth Social.
They
You do
really-
not
They
get
really
censored.
do. They might
Yeah.
be using it in a different way than it used to be used, but they do love it.
might not be the
It's
same
a shared
way.
language.
It
Well, I
is.
like that with the term bitch, we reclaimed it, right? But then we just gave it back. It was like we were
Yeah.
borrowing it.
Yeah, it's like you just handed it right back to them, and they're like, "Oh, thank you."
It
Like,
was
we
a
use it
little
our
bit
way.
With it, it's kind of
Situation.
smoothed out a little. Now just have fun with it. And that's
And
all
I
you're
said,
just
now it smells better, and you can have it back. Hey, call me that again.
Oh my God, Mackenzie, hang out with us. You're going to teach us all about feminism and how to be an influencer, but we do have to send things over right now to traffic.
108.9 The Hawk Traffic with Art Spart. Wow! I'm running down a dream. Everybody has a running dream. Working on a mystery of why none of us want to run. Running down a dream, and that dream is today. And it has become a nightmare because we have traffic. That's right, if you're trying to get to the semi-annual Eddie Trunks Tribute to Y&T Festival, then good luck! Because traffic all over town is at a standstill. And that is because the other event booked in Val Verde today is at a literal standstill. That's right, tonight is the Getting Back into Running event. The running marathon for everyone who on New Year's said, "This is it. This is different. This year is the year I get back into shape and I start running." And then about 1 month after this resolution was made, everyone collectively stops running. Well, this was supposed to be the solution to that, a jumpstart to the jumpstart organized by Flappers Chicken Wings, where everyone could get started on fitness. Again. Well, I bet you can guess what happened. Most of Val Verde showed up at the Flappers on Hog Street with all their new running apparel, which they had to buy again after they threw out the original new running apparel they bought. Everyone started stretching. Lots of talk about how this is gonna be the year. And then Flappers brought out the free chicken wings. From lemon pepper to fuzzy dice to Gatorade fierce flavored Flappers chicken wings. And everyone started gorging themselves. The manager of Flappers kept yelling, "You have to carb load!" Which usually means a pasta dinner the night before a big run, not 100 chicken wings eaten as quickly as possible 5 minutes before a run. A 17-mile run, which admittedly was a big ask from Flappers. Between you and me, I'm starting to think they didn't want anyone to actually run, but just remember how much they love those delicious wings, so they return again and again and again. Well, as soon as that starting gun went off, everyone started running as fast as possible, and within 200 feet, everybody stopped just as quick. All collapsing in the middle of Hog Street, covered in sweat and chicken wing grease, blocking all lanes of traffic on our main thoroughfare. So if you're planning on restarting your commitment to fitness again, and you were running late, maybe just give up again. And simply put on your Y&T shirt and wait it out, because any truck will be waiting for anyone that shows up after this traffic convention is cleared up.
With Bert's funeral flowers, with Bert's funeral flowers.
Oh my God, Art. You know, I started the year. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the year, the 77th year of Wisp Turlington's life that I finally get in shape. And there's a name for that, everybody. Do you know what the name is?
What is
Do you
that
know
name?
what the name is,
Tell me,
everybody?
King.
Yeah, tell
The name is, those types of things and those types of things are known as dirty deeds being done dirt cheap. It's AC/DC on 108.9 The Hog.
Wow. Doesn't that music just take you back?
It sure does. To a simpler time. A time when music was great and before it was ruined by being included in movies and documentaries about the Vietnam War. Don't you wish you could get all these great ruined songs in one place?
Well, now you can, with Val Verde Records' newest musical collection, songs from the 60s and 70s that have been ruined by being used in movies and documentaries about Vietnam. Hi, I'm Richie Furay from Buffalo Springfield.
And I'm Jake. Imagine having every song that has had its emotional content torn apart through overuse by unimaginative filmmakers in one great collection. Songs like Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator song.
White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane.
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small.
All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. All Along the Watchtower by Bob Dylan.
There must be some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief.
And many more.
Wow, that version was my favorite. Until they used it in Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, and Hamburger Hill, all in the same year.
Or at least we think they did, because it all kind of blends. But hey, what about the song For What It's Worth by your band, Buffalo Springfield?
Huh, I don't even remember that one.
It's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Oh, right. Even though I helped write it, when I hear that title at first, I'm always like, what is this song? And then immediately I'm like, ugh, right, that one. Is this movie about Vietnam or something? Wait, does that song make it on the collection?
It's been in every movie about Vietnam, right? Just like Fortunate Son by Creedence. Again, but this time over stock footage of Nixon. That Leaves Are Brown song by I don't really know who, but it's always over footage of San Francisco. Right after the song San Francisco.
To San Francisco.
Not to mention Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding for some reason, and many more.
Wow, who knew so many classics were ruined by Hollywood?
I did. We all did. Everyone except filmmakers.
It's just so cool how on the nose they were.
Then you are going to love the extra CD collection you'll receive. Songs from Vietnam movies that are crazily on the nose. Songs like We've Gotta Get Out of This Place by The Animals, over footage of soldiers being shot at. War by Edwin Starr over shots of the war. And one more time for the back now, Fortunate Son by Creedence over basically anything.
Well, this sounds like a great collection. I have to have it to remember that I never want to hear any of these songs ever again.
And you can by just calling 1-800-NOMFLIX and making 3 easy payments of $19.95. And if you order right now, you'll also get another bonus collection, Songs Ruined by Scorsese by being used in every Scorsese film. It's basically the entire Rolling Stones catalog. Order now.
You're listening to 108.9 The Hawk.
Oh, my number one nemesis in all of Val Verde, you know it, you're listening, Bob Seger. You pull any of your shit on me. At any of the events I go to, Bob always just randomly shows up on a flatbed truck with his piano playing Catmandu, ruining everything about any of my events.
Silver
he did
Bullet
it last
Band
night.
behind him just apologizing. Just
Like,
sorry,
oh,
I'm sorry,
we
I'm sorry.
apologize.
Bob
Sorry,
Seger
sorry,
Systems
sorry.
like he threw us into the curb years ago.
Like, yeah, we can't have it. We have nothing to say about him. Hey, do gotta go to news.
All the news you can use, or the news you could lose. It's news time on 108.9 The Hawk.
And of course, our guest here, feminist influencer, Mackenzie. Feel free to jump in on any of these stories.
Yes.
Tell us your feminist perspective on the news right here in the Val Verde Valley.
Well, no matter what it is, I will agree with you.
Love it.
I love
Perfect.
this. This is good radio right here.
Just call me Papa. Hey, shout out to the Val. No, I didn't mean that, but I have children. Hey, shout out to the Val Verde Fire Department for getting Clumpsy, Val Verde's largest cat, out of a willow tree yesterday.
Clumpsy.
Everybody's seen Clumpsy. He weighs in at 420 pounds.
420, bro.
420, bro.
I know 420 cake stands.
There
we
we
know
go.
you know 420 cake stands.
There's our dirtbag sidekick, Keg Stan. Thank you for
Thanks
that.
for the
I don't-
contribution.
work.
Jeez.
He usually comes up with a very lewd and crude comment, but not just basically
he
parroting
knows the
what we just
concept.
said.
My
Okay.
Well, it's just nice to really see him in person. I'm a huge fan, and I didn't know that he stayed beneath the table during
Pretty much.
this. I didn't know he was here.
Half
Yeah,
the time
get
we
back-
don't know he's here. Sometimes he's down in Austin just zooming it in, and I'm just like, okay, you're just hanging out with the skanks down there, the Legion of Skanks.
Oh.
It's great.
Hanging out with us. He loves the comedy scene in Austin.
Love this guy.
Loves it. Everybody
I mean,
loves
dudes rock after all.
it. The dudes. There you go. Wow.
Kill
That's
Tony, cake stand. Oh,
Kill
man.
Tony.
this
Thank
guy.
you.
And the mothership.
Thank you.
I would love
Wow.
to meet him in person someday. That's so
Okay,
silly.
back to Clumpsy. Okay, here we go.
I'm so sorry,
Clumpsy
Papa.
somehow, climbed to the tallest branch in Edith Starr's tree in Val Verde East and was up there for a week until the fire department said, fuck it, we'll try it. And Clumpsy ended up crashing down on two firefighters, instantly breaking both of their arms and legs. But Clumpsy's okay. And when you get right down to it, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that matters. So what do you guys think of that story? Real quick, I got another story, but what do you think about that story?
I think it's beautiful that they keep him at 420. You know, they keep I keep going like, let's up it a little. Let's try to get Clumpsy even bumpsier. But there's like, no. We've got a number and we're sticking with it. This is what he's famous for, 420. And he's got that "Take Me to Your Dealer" poster right next to his litter box.
Right next to
and
the
he's
litter
got
box.
that one that Howie Mandel is talking about all the time. And I'm like, you're right. This doesn't stink. This is great, Howie.
And then on the inside of his very, very large litter box, Scarface poster, because you know Clumpsy knows how to fucking rock.
This whole town's a chicken just waiting to get plucked. He knows what's going on.
I used to have a serious issue with secret keepers, town secret keepers like Clumpsy.
Really?
Because men with so much power as Clumpsy is that he sees a lot, he knows a lot, and yet what does he do? But as time goes on, I've really come to appreciate that he's really just there to chill, toke, and have a good time. And if that's against the law, shoot me. Okay.
I would wear
They do
a
love
shirt.
that on Truth Social, actually.
Oh my
I
God.
love that.
Typing that on my Truth Social right now. Chill, toke, and have a good time. And Hexeth just gave me a punch for it. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, more news. Shootout at Shooter's Barn Buffet last night. 3 dead, including members of the band playing there last night. Super Spreader. So, sorry about that, Super Spreader, but kudos to
premier
Shooters.
Supertramp cover bands that actually
That is,
started
I
during
mean-
the COVID-19 pandemic, of course.
They're like, what are we going to do in this pandemic? Maybe we should. And they started over Zoom. They were one of those terrible bands that started over Zoom. Take a look at my girlfriend. It's awful. It's awful. But 3 of them dead. But kudos to Shooters for cleaning it up so quickly. And thanks to local band Goose Beasley in the Foam Zone for stepping in and giving Shooters patrons the show that Super Spreader couldn't.
I mean, Goose was just there, just waiting on the back line, just like ready to jump in.
What do you think? What do you think? There's a lot of shootings at Shooters. It's in the name.
I say, if you don't wear the vest at shooters, you get what you deserve. Not to blame the victim, but that's kind of my thing these days.
You really like it.
And so
you love blaming the victim in 2025.
In 2025, it has occurred to me that maybe I was asking for it. I used to have a lot of problems, but I've actually kind of compartmentalized all of them. And I think as far as super shooter goes, they couldn't play. They played in sync on Zoom, but certainly not in person, as far as I could tell.
They did deserve it, is what you
They
said.
played with a delay, and they deserved to. And I wouldn't have said this. But they deserve to go.
Wow.
They deserve to die.
2025, 2024, victim blaming out.
Yep.
2025, blame them.
We're
victims
so
in.
back.
We're back, baby.
So to the other members, the surviving member of Super Spreader, if I would have been there last night and heard you're a goodbye stranger, I would have shot you myself.
And it's only the clarinet player that survived.
Only
This is
one.
why you're the
Only one.
greatest to ever do it.
I mean,
Thank you. Wisp Turlington, greatest to ever do it. From Mackenzie's lips to my ears. And that's 108.9 The Hawk News, brought to you by Sharnies. Sharnies with 72 locations in the greater Verde Valley. Sharnies, nobody eats for free.
No one eats for free at Sharnies.
So we talked a little Truth Social there, Mackenzie. What are you thinking about? What do you think about TikTok? Is it going to stick around?
I think TikTok is a great place to form enemies to last a lifetime. Do I support TikTok? Well, it really depends on the news of the day. There's been days where I've supported it, but other days the wind blows another way. I think that TikTok is a nemesis generator that we are just really neglecting. I have countless 19-year-olds that would cut my head off if given the opportunity. Wow. And it's increased my value tremendously.
Just knowing that you're such a target makes you worth so much.
Especially with people that have no power at all.
You got nothing.
Just
no one.
Nothing.
They got nothing. They got nothing.
It's great.
I say that all the time on Truth Social.
There's a lot of vulnerable people there.
You got nothing.
You got nothing.
I'm Wisp Turlington. You got nothing. I can say it to both of you. Like, I live in a mall. My house is a converted mall, Turlington Manor, and I get on top of it, and I see all the fucking idiots still coming to it, because there are still a few active. It is what you would call a dead mall, because there are still a few stores that are active, like a Payless, a Shoes.
The Claire's Boutique is still going. You can still get your ears pierced at Claire's.
Get in there. A lot of crowds.
That's right next to your second bathroom.
That is right next. I'm in my second bathroom.
I'm curious, and this is as a fan. Is the ice rink still there?
Oh, that's mine. That is, I am out there. I've got the guy running the Zamboni all the time. He's like, when are you going to let me off, Wisp? I'm like, I'm never letting you off the Zamboni.
He doesn't need a noise machine when he sleeps because he just has the hum of the Zamboni next to his head.
That's the true sign of success. Zamboni driver, no pee breaks.
No, he's like, I'd like to see my family. And I'm like, I'd like to see your family too.
That ice is so yellow too because he is not getting pee breaks and it's just dribble.
Right back out.
None.
It cleans it one way, it doesn't clean it the other way, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Hey, so, okay. How can Jeff and I, now you've been with us here for a few minutes here in the 7 o'clock hour, currently 7:23, Val Verde, wake up, go to your job on 108.9 The Hawk. You've been in here with us for a few minutes. How do you see us now? I mean, you see us, you're a fan, you already know how great we are, but how can we... Greatness sometimes doesn't factor into how to influence people in 2025 on social media. How do we become influencers?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Wes. I think that something that you have infinite charisma, and I just want to slow it down. They've shortened that word, but I think that let's just talk about that another day. You can guess what syllable that they've chosen.
Isma.
But
Crazy.
Okay.
Was it crazy?
Sorry?
Is it hashtag Isma or is it hashtag crazy?
Isma is 2 syllables.
Was it that one?
I think that you could make that work. It just sounds like kind of a slow inhale. Sorry, I don't mean to be critical.
No,
of you.
it's not. Oh, you can be.
So,
this is
we're
the crude zone
learning from
here.
the master over here.
You are the master. We
Feminist,
are the children.
former feminist influencer. You teach us thy ways.
So when I was at the peak of Come On Bitch before the incident, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But when I was at the peak of Come On Bitch, I was selling a lot of stuff. There was never something I wasn't selling. And I have to say, as a longtime fan, you really could have bled me dry. But you're very rarely selling me something.
We're not selling much now. Jeff has his supplements, of course, brain juice.
Got my brain
Sure.
juice. Brain juice. I mean, you got to just a good reminder. You got to try that brain juice because it's going to solve all your ills. It is.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, I don't make let's not be mistaken. I've tried them, and after the hospital visit, it was part of my journey to no longer being a feminist.
Brain
that's-
juice.
Wow.
Wow.
Because of brain juice.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful. That is
Not all the way, but it got me. It was a kick in the right direction. The hemorrhage.
That's what I mean, and it says that in parentheses. Hemorrhage will be kick in the right direction.
Was Dr.
And that's
Jimmy,
why certain podcasters back it up and just and I
Oh
say,
my
I say
God,
thank you.
100%. Was
And I've tried them all. Yours is the most hemorrhagey in the business.
the most?
Can
put it
I
on
get
the
a
box.
Scotty? Can we
Put
get
it-
a poll
Scotty,
quote of
put it
that?
on the box.
I might need
Quote
to
me
get
on
some.
You can quote me
Oh
on it.
my God. Really quickly, I do have to say two things. One, 108.9 The Hawk, the podcast, because this is podcasted too, because all radio stations podcast their morning shows now.
That's a start.
So you can be heard everywhere, but I got to say, brought to you by Brain Juice. Very hemorrhagey.
Very hemorrhagey.
Right. And also, it's time.
Do you want to get tickets? Let's get tickets.
That's right, Val Verde, caller number 400. My God, Scotty, every time I read that, I'm shocked. Def Leppard.
And by
Bret
the way, if you're
Michaels
at your
band.
slob jobs and you're calling in, we are not at the point yet.
Not yet. We're not going to be there for a while.
So if you're calling in, we're not counting there. But the bed will keep going, so just pay attention.
Bed will keep going. Def Leppard, Bret Michaels Band, and Tony Diarrhea and the Well-Fed Babies this Saturday night at Verde Dome. Would you like to go? Are you a big Leopard or Tony Diarrhea fan?
I'm mostly familiar with the posts, but I would consider myself a fan. Yeah.
Okay. So this song doesn't have a post because it starts with, do you want to get rocked? You can't even talk into it.
That's true.
That's the great thing. That's Leopard's magic.
So
That
that's
is
a
Leopard's
hard
magic.
transition. That's only a pro could do that.
Only a pro could do that. And that's me. I can do that. Okay.
Yes,
So
Papa.
No. Okay. Let's
No,
see here.
Mackenzie,
Leopard.
Mackenzie, no.
Pop. You talk, Jeff. I'm looking up stuff. Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
We're
I was
close.
waiting for you to. I don't know
Close
what
here.
you were doing
I'm
over here.
sorry.
Okay,
No, this isn't your
No,
fault.
I'm going to start.
Mackenzie.
No. I'm
I
going to
thought
start.
you were processing the Papa thing and maybe had a follow-up
I was
thought.
processing
just
the Papa
waiting.
thing because I have children.
That's
I also
okay.
have children I don't know about. I am basically like Screaming Jay Hawkins. There's a lot of wisp in the world, and I don't necessarily want to encounter it. Let's play a game. It's called The Post, and here's Leopard. Hey, okay, here I go. Hey, we got Def Leppard, the Verde Dome this weekend. It's going to be a good time. If you want to go on out there, Tony Diarrhea and the Well-Fed Babies, they're going on at 7 o'clock. So get out there and diarrhea it up, bitch. Boom, that's how you
Nailed
do
it.
it.
Seamless.
Thank you. Would you like to do a leopard?
Mackenzie, you can do this.
Okay, Mackenzie.
I don't know. I've never tried
I think
it.
you can do this. What do you want? You want,
Okay.
we can't do
Give me
this
some
one.
options. Give me some options. I'm
Okay.
just a girl.
Well, first off, since you're just a girl, I got to say, it's all Def Leppard. So
Okay. I'll do my best.
let's try Armageddon it, okay? Here we go.
I know that one. Okay, the next song is starting. I just want to send this one out to my dad. His name was also Mackenzie McKenzie. He died exploding near the troops. And I love him. And he was really nice to me. We enjoyed this show together. And if there was... And I don't think he would have liked...
Out.
Wow.
Out.
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 Mackenzie.
I'm sorry, Papa.
Out, Mackenzie.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm
no,
sorry.
but your dad would have been
I'm
proud of
sorry.
that. Your dad would have been proud of that. I hope he's
Shouldn't
listening.
we be
right
calling
now.
you Mackenzie Jr.?
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have.
Are you Junior?
No, he wouldn't let me.
Well.
No. It was just Eminem. Eminem.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Are you
Well,
Eminem's
we're going to
daughter?
talk more about that, I'm sure, in the next break. We do have to go back in and pay some bills. But hell, I'm on a roll. It's Def Leppard. 108.9 The Hawk. Of course, this is a track from Hysteria, and I remember doing a lot of cocaine on this tour with Def Leppard, backstage, everywhere. Cleveland, Roanoke, Salem.
And that's how I should have done it, and I
You
didn't.
really should have done just like you got to mention how much coke you did. Def Leppard backstage. Summer's almost here, so we're getting the camp ready. What camp, you ask? Well, friend, that's John Cougar Summer Camp. The only all-ages, all-Mellencamp summer camp. I'm John Mellencamp, inviting you to join me this summer for fun, music, games, pleasure, eats, and relaxation the John Mellencamp way. If you're from a big city or a small town, this camp has everything you need. You'll bunk in one of hundreds of pink houses on the property. You'll enjoy our world-class amenities like the Hurt So Good Spa and Salon. Okay, the Sucking on a Chili Dog Cafeteria. They're open 24 hours, and they only serves chili dogs. Or maybe you're into spooky fun stuff like the Rain on the Scarecrow Haunted Corn Maze. Ooh, spooky scary, right? But it's fun. You won't say, I need a lover, when you find yourself cozying up to someone at the lonely old night singles dance. Boink, boink, boink. It'll be a wild night indeed. Hell, that's every night. So what if I came knocking and asked you to come to CAMP in the USA with me, John Mellencamp? Because I will if I have to. In fact, I'm right outside your door, knocking on it right now. John Cougar Summer Camp, where sports are sports and grooving is still grooving. All damn summer long, wild nights indeed, shucks. Ain't that America? From Sharney's Tower
To the Val Verde and Normo Dome.
to the Richie Blackmore Memorial Statue. From Flappers,
To Fletchies.
if it's rockin', it's on 108.9 The Hawk. Oh, there it goes. I said there it goes.
There it goes.
There, because I was about to say Don, but I said there. There we go. Don Henley, Boys of Summer, a song that I learned this week that Bob Dylan was actually jealous of. He was like, and that said, what he said is, I really love Boys of Summer.
That you got the Bob Rosetta
Because
Stone
he's
in
hard to understand.
Because he's
Because he's hard to understand,
Exactly.
yes.
Boys, the thing that always I thought was interesting about it, whenever my dad and I were listening to your show, anytime a song that was like the length of Boys of Summer would come on, he would yell, "That's a pooper." And so I wanted to say, so is that the sort of thing you would?
Yeah.
And I don't mean to
No, that's
overstep.
No.
No.
Just a girl.
That is radio lingo
No.
there. Is
No.
that
That's
you,
a
you
pooper?
need a pooper.
That's a pooper. So
That's a
basically,
pooper. We got many
Okay,
poopers.
okay.
a lot of poopers
If
in the
maybe
system.
I've gone down the flappers and I've had just one too many fuzzy dice wings, I just have to yell out, "Oh, that's a pooper," and then we know Boys of Summer's coming on.
You
Boys of
excuse
Summers.
yourself, yeah, and then.
And if
and
I've
then
had one
11
too many,
minutes
we just do all of Alice's Restaurant, even if
Oh.
it's not Thanksgiving. We just go the full half hour because I'm going to be saying hello to my porcelain king for quite a while, if you know what I
Well,
mean.
wait, when Alice's Restaurant came on, Dad would always be like, "Someone's sick," like that.
Oh God, I wish I could meet you.
I
Dad.
would kill
I
to
wish
meet
I
your
could
father,
meet you,
and I'm sure you
Dad.
would.
I can't. It's never gonna happen. We do have a time machine, but we're not gonna use it. I would say I gotta add to Jeff's joke. I'm down at Flappers, and I'm eating a wing that tastes like windshield wiper fluid. And you know what I say? I say that's a pooper, and then you hear. Get it? That's we just build on jokes. That's the
And
beauty
that's
of
just
morning
for the
radio.
fans.
That's
That's
just for the fans, and more. And you have a lot of fans, Mackenzie, and I've heard you've disappointed them all this year.
I do, but all engagement is good engagement, and that's that's
Write it
something
down,
I know
Scotty.
you know well. There's a lot of grad students that want my head on a spike. I'll tell you why.
Really, like
Oh,
Vlad the Impaler style.
Women deep in debt think that I have betrayed them because they came on bitch. And that they don't feel I saw them through. Look, I just think it's just an issue of naivete. I'm honestly shocked that they stayed with me through the incident. After the incident, I was like, I've got to get Wisp on the horn. I've got to start.
There you go.
Now, this
There you go.
incident
Actually
that we've
engage with
heard
the
about, I
truth.
know I've heard, but what the incident?
Yeah.
Now, what
Yeah, what was
did we hear
the
about
incident?
this incident?
I have heard the words "the incident" thrown around a few
I've heard the
times, but
incident.
what
There was that
exactly
Netflix
is
documentary
the
too that was 20 parts called "The Incident." Was that
It
about
was-
the Mackenzie story.
Yeah.
It was quite long,
It was.
but there was a lot of stuff missing. I mean, I think maybe if you saw it on TikTok, they were calling it "Girl Chappaquiddick."
They did.
They did.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
But
And I'm like, someone better get that girl out of the car.
and what I think it was a tragic accident.
Okay.
That and the premeditation, the emails, all that stuff about driving the Cybertruck into the sea. You haven't watched the documentary.
No, we watched. Oh, well, I got to be honest.
That means maybe my lawsuit has gone through.
I
It's
stopped
been
around
removed.
17.
Yeah. I
Episode
watched the whole
17.
thing, but just like how they've been saying, I was staring at my phone for 90% of the time while I was watching it.
You
So-
really have to. It's the kind of thing I just can't. I can't stand the documentary because it doesn't really kick up till part 18, if you can
It
believe
really
it.
doesn't. I gotta
shit.
say, 1 through
I shoulda
17
kept
was
watching.
boring as all hell.
I
shoulda
watched the
kept
whole
watching.
thing, but it's starting in the 19th century. I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
I didn't
But
see how that
apparently
applied
I'm-
to your life at that point.
Apparently, I'm Italian. I didn't see. I was learning things about my own family.
Wow.
Boom.
But it gets to Girl Chappaquiddick around part 18, and yes, there was. I used to have a coworker, a co-host on Come On Bitch, and she drowned in the Cybertruck, right?
Wow.
And
There you go.
the thing is, I wasn't driving the Cybertruck. I told the Cybertruck where to go. And I made it out, and that's all.
So you're saying the Cybertruck
So we're
is the
saying this
one that
could be
did it?
about the Cybertruck.
I
mean-
know. I mean, I'm not going to say anything against.
I mean,
the
that could be
Cybertruck.
real
I drive it to
sketchy on
this day.
Truth Social,
That
as
could
far
be,
as I know. You don't
I
say
drive
anything
it to
about
this
that.
day. host
No,
anything
tell
about that
no,
on
no,
Truth
no.
Social.
Look, I don't want to. I don't want to
want to.
polarize the audience. I'm not saying the Cybertruck did anything wrong. I'm
Right.
just saying, in this day and age, sometimes God is among you and you don't know. Sometimes God.
So
you've-
many great sayings. I don't know
you've
if you've
leaped
ever
Put those
thought
on
about.
driftwood. You should put those on a piece of
Oh,
driftwood.
put it on a piece of driftwood.
Sell that
This
in
is where
Target.
we got to
God is with
digitize
you.
it. We got to digitize it. This is what I'm
Oh,
Is
trying
there
to
see,
get.
that's
digital
where we're
driftwood?
fucking
Is that
things
like a
up.
Bitcoin? Is this what I'm hearing about?
Could you Bitcoin
Is
it?
this a
Could you
Bitcoin?
Bitcoin a digital
Could you
driftwood?
Bitcoin it?
You could Bitcoin Girl Chappaquiddick, and many did, and many did. Yeah, there were a few Girl Chappaquiddick meme coins that were considered, offensive by the family of.
I
of the
invested all
victim.
my money into Girl Chappaquiddick. Can't stand. Oh,
There you-
God,
now that's
buddy.
the type
That
of
doesn't
content
surprise
we
me.
Love
want.
to see his little head pop up.
Right,
I
just
Little head
just
pops
love
right
it.
out.
It's like
So
those
let's
whack-a-mole games, but he just says something really messed up.
Get down there!
I hope I never know what the bottom half of his face
Oh,
looks like.
you don't want to know what the bottom.
He's like
basically
Wilson
our
in Home
Wilson.
Improvement, but
We
more
both did it.
problematic.
There's
Well, that's great. Hey, let's role play for a second. So it's the moment.
Papa.
No. Okay, please. Let's not. But I'm going to be the car, so you can call me Car. Okay, I'm the Cybertruck. Jeff's the girl,
And you're a
in the
beautiful
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck. You look
You're
And-
beautiful.
just like you
this looks
walked
great.
right out of Total Recall
Right?
Yeah.
or some other dystopian
Imposing,
satiric.
authoritative.
Yes.
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 And
Not
I-
stupid looking.
not
Stop saying that,
stupid
people.
looking
Not
in
just
any way.
totally
Not too big or
so
like
really dumb
It's
looking.
nothing
No,
like
Gray.
a truck. Nothing like a truck.
Right.
Okay, so you see Verde Bay coming up ahead.
Right in front of you.
And I'm going to be truck. 3, 2, 1.
Mackenzie, what should we do?
Okay, and then Jeff,
you.
just so
You're
you know,
you.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to direct the scene a little bit. Okay. So Jeff, if you could say, please, and then I lean in really close to you, and I go, just do what it said. Just do what it said.
Kill her, Mackenzie.
Computer volume off.
Are
Just
you
do
trying
what
to
it said.
kill me, Mackenzie?
Just do what it said. Shh.
Volume back up. Volume back
You're
up.
getting paid at exposure.
We're
And
going.
then I would lean, and then just do what it said, okay?
Try to escape, girl. I think she's trying to kill you.
The doors keep locking on me.
Okay. Hard left.
Oh, but that's the ocean.
Stop arguing. Open door. Open left door. Close left door. Sink.
Wow.
Did that all happen in
And
episode
scene.
17?
Is that
Because I think I missed it
sorry,
when I was
you
playing
know
some
what
weird Czechoslovakian iOS game. I don't know what happened.
What I'm realizing is I did not remember the point in the incident where I just was lucky enough to put on scuba gear.
Right.
Wow,
That's-
you were so
that's just
lucky
luck.
to have the scuba
It
gear
was
right
really
there.
lucky. And
Well-
I was always telling her, wear scuba gear when you're in a car with me because you never know what I'm going to do.
I tell you what,
You got to listen to your friends.
if there's a moral to this episode
Listen
of the
to
Jeff
women.
Listen to women.
women.
Well, listen to your friends and listen to the Jeff and Wisp show. Mackenzie, it's been a wonderful time having you down here with us. I got to tell you, if there's one thing your friend, the girl in the Cybertruck, isn't anymore, that's a living thing. Electric Light Orchestra
Never gets old.
from a New World Record. Right here on 108.9 The Hawk. Ed Begley Jr. up next. The Jeff and Wisp Show.
That's all you got? Cheap trick and a cheesy one-liner?
Sweetheart, that could be the name of my autobiography.
Every morning on 108.9 The Hawk. Jamie, welcome to 108.9 The Hawk.
Hi.
That was very fun.
I had so much
That
fun.
was a very fun. I love how triggered Wisp is whenever there's an idea that there could be another child in the world.
Wisp being perceived as a father is but you
no.
can't say that he's triggered. You
No.
No. God, no.
God, no. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It is such a pleasure to have you. I love your podcast so much. And
Thanks.
Jeff loves your podcast, I think, the most.
I truly do talk about 16th Minute of Fame a lot.
Thank you
to
so
as many
much.
people I can. Because it was just like a random, I knew you before and I listened to other stuff and seen other stuff you've done. But then when I did finally give a listen, it was one that I got very sucked into. And it, to me, hits exactly, and this is to me is almost like one of the highest compliments I can give. It reminded me of doing the aspect of what Dave Holmes was doing with Waiting for Impact, which for me is one of my favorite podcasts because it's here's something that some people would treat small or something that just happened, but I feel like you're able to get into a much larger context in the best way possible of every topic you've done so far. And it to me, it's also a salve to the amount of podcasts and articles about culture that I'll just be there's not really much being said in this.
Yeah.
Where I'm this is a popular I'm thinking of some actually fairly popular ones that I'll try to give a listen.
I used to write those too, and so you're just you're basically just plagiarizing the guy who decided what the opinion was.
Right. And so, and I'll say I'm looking at actually one of the biggest things was
and he's told me so much
the
about
Chaos
this.
Machine.
Oh my God, Max Fisher.
You had mentioned it, and then I got this has become one of those books I've told kind of everyone about and made
it's so
me
good.
Feel oddly more comfortable when Trump got elected. Because it was just a reminder of it is now going to be extra terrible, but also the algorithm is still trucking on the same trajectory it was doing when everyone thought it was better.
Right, like almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, so it's like try to like keep it in mind of like where like, you know, many of our friends who are like reacting to literally everything. And I'm like, it's all worth reacting to, and I don't know, it somehow calmed me. It went the opposite way with the Chaos Machine.
He tried to get me to read it, and that was right around, and I got it from the library, and I'm like, I can't dive into an idea of an algorithm here's the thing about me though, Jamie. I've got too much room in my head right now for UFOs and all that other stuff that I'm like, I can't replace
UFO
it.
Books I was reading, oh God, there's like a recent book about UFOs by like Luis
Elizondo, Imminent.
Yes. Did you read it?
Oh, I read it.
And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. And then you get to the chapter where he was like, I was really involved in Guantanamo Bay, and I'm proud of all the work I did there. And you're just like, well, I guess I don't like this book very. I don't know how seriously to take this guy now.
Yeah, I'm like, he's like, oh, God, building Guantanamo Bay was one of the best days of my life. And then when Trump was elected, none whatsoever. He's like, God, if I could live there. Oh, and then like when Trump was elected, he kept like tweeting at him like, hey, we're really excited for your leadership, and you can lead us into disclosure. And I'm like, Trump's not going to do that. Yeah. He's not going to get you there. But like I said, I only had a little bit of room in my brain, and it was all UFOs when he was trying to get me to do.
I mean, and Luis did a great job. I just really wish he hadn't brought up Guantanamo, and maybe I would have continued on his journey. But the Chaos Machine, like I found it very disturbing and very comforting in the same way, where you're just like, okay, we were never on a good path.
Right.
You know? It's not like things suddenly became like, oh wait, are these guys trying to make money? It's like,
I think it's good.
It felt like a variation on like mid-quarantine when I reread War of the Worlds, and it was just like, this is like the same language, but in the 1800s they're using it with the flu, but as a parable. And like I was just like, okay, I get like a comfort out of like humanity. I mean, trying to be a lot more chill as I get older, but former like devout pessimist and cynist. So, and I always say I won my high school yearbook superlative for most pessimistic. And now I try to be chiller, but it's like it helps me relax to know like humanity has always kind of been terrible and great at the same time. In a weird way.
I hear, it's like that everyone has always thought they were living in the worst timeline.
Yeah.
And there's always been people doing good stuff in spite of believing that they live in the worst timeline. So it is like more cyclical than I feel like it feels like. Not that that makes it better, but it does make it at least like, okay, we've been through. I'm in the middle of reading this book about the sense of smell, and the whole front half of it is about like shit in the streets, and how many people wrote poems about shit in the just things things have been worse. Things have been worse. And whenever someone's like, we're on the darkest timeline, I'm like, well, it's not good.
Yeah.
But you should see these medieval poems about shit I've been reading. Like
when I went to visit York in England, and they had a Viking museum, and you went through and they would pump in different sections what the smell of the streets would be like.
Oh, my God.
And it was a nightmare. It was like, and I asked the guy working the front door, I was like, does it get rough? He goes, your nose kind of dies out. But it was just like.
Right, yeah, like your nose can adjust to anything, which is a very scary power to have.
And then Louis Elizondo goes through the museum, and he's like, this smells just like Guantanamo. I love it.
Ooh, this is taking me back.
But I do think we were joking about like the bit of like, I don't know, your podcast like does have the element too of like actually taking the statement that shows up in kind of lazy documentaries of you got to remember what it was like at the time. But actually like you do need to see what it was like remember, because so much continues on. And then like, I don't know, you do a great job of just putting into context And with also just the proper progressive viewpoint that I need as a old punk, I can't recommend it enough to people. I truly, I listen to every episode right away.
And it's weekly, correct? It's 16th Minute of Fame.
It is, yeah.
Weekly. And Jamie, thank you. Is there anything else you want to plug on this episode of 108.9 The Hawk?
Oh man, my book about hot dogs is coming out in paperback soon.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's called Raw Dog: The Naked Truth About Hot Dogs, and it comes out in paperback in May.
Oh my God,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. That is unbelievable. That's so good. We loved having you on. Love to have you back sometime. And thank you for joining us here in Val Verde.
Oh, always a pleasure.
108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Jeff Garlock.
A comedy podcast about a fictional classic rock radio station.
Hear and see new episodes every Monday. Subscribe on YouTube,
Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
Pocket Casts,
Overcast, and wherever you get your podcasts. Support the show by going to patreon.com/1089 The Hawk. Get video and audio episodes 1 week early, bonus shows, and so much more. Get that merch by going to our website at 1089thehawk.com. And if you like what you heard in this episode, you can check out a ton of 108.9 The Hawk episodes on our website at 1089thehawk.com or wherever you get your podcasts. A comedy podcast about a fictional classic rock radio station. 108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Jeff Garlock.